Hello, my name is Nelson Elam from Pure Storage, and I'm going to be going over an updated feature in our vSphere plugin version 4.5, performance charting for data stores. We're first going to create a non-stretch data store, and then we're going to go over the charting for it, the metrics for it. For this part of the demonstration, we're going to go to Hosts and Clusters view. We're going to right-click on our cluster, go to the Pure Storage plugin, and select Create Data Store. We'll pick VMFS for this demonstration. VMFS 6 will suit our purposes well. Just populate a name that's descriptive. Choose something useful for our demonstration here. And whatever size makes sense. A compute resource that we have room on, an array that we have capacity and performance available on. Protection group and QoS are not something we're going to be enabling here, so we'll just leave those as defaults, which is not selected, and then we'll finish creating that data store. I went ahead and put some load on this volume. It's not something I wanted to highlight here, but just something to keep in mind. This isn't just a new volume anymore with no load on it. So let's go and see what our load looks like. So for this, we're going to go to the storage view in vCenter. Going to go to the monitor tab for our data store. And then under Pure Storage, we have capacity and performance information here now. Capacity will cover the used percentage of the data store itself, what's actually been written to the array, and uniquely occupied space by this data store on the array. There's also more information when you hover. Going to performance and looking at some charts that we have here, you can actually see the load that was on this volume. So we can see that we have a good amount of writes. Looks like if we deselect reads, we can actually see that there's a lot of latency in the SAN, it looks like here. So it's definitely a useful tool. We can also drop down and pick different time frames for our scope. So if this wasn't a new volume, you'd be able to see however long the history of the volume. Additionally here, we can look and see the IOPS, the throughput, the bandwidth there for this data store. Next, we'll be looking at stretch data store creation and stretch data store metrics. These are slightly different than non-stretched, so I thought it would be good to cover them. So we go here, Host and Clusters view. I'm going to go to our cluster again. We'll right-click and go to that Pure Storage plugin again and create a data store. VMFS will be fine again. VMFS 6 is what we'll want. Populate a useful data store name. I'm adding stretched to make it clear which one we're looking at. Size is whatever you want it to be. Pick the compute resource appropriately. This one is different. So instead of doing a local storage on an array, we'll do clustered storage. So I'll select my pod that I've already created on these arrays and stretched. We won't do protection groups or QoS again here, so we'll just go through and finish. For this part of it, I did the same thing as before. I skipped ahead. I put some load on this data store so we would have some data to look at in metrics. So that part has already been done. But we're going to go back to the storage view in vCenter. We're going to find our data store. And we're going to go to that Monitor tab again and look at capacity and performance. Capacity for stretched versus non-stretched should be the same, so there shouldn't be any differences there. The performance section is where we'll see the addition of this mirrored write section now, and this will actually give you a really good breakdown of what's happening between the two arrays where the pod is stretched and where this data store is synchronously replicated between. So you can see for our stretched workload as well, we have, for mirrored writes, we have some SAN latency just like we did for our non-stretched data store. That's all I wanted to cover today, though. Thank you for watching. For more information on all the different integrations and solutions Pure has with VMware, please check out our VMware platform guide on the support website linked here. Thank you.